Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Vallen, and this is Vanilla Minecraft. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own mini mansion with just about everything you want in it, in a 7x7 space, including your own home defenses. First and foremost, let me show you what it is you're getting into. This is the mini mansion, as I'm calling it, or the Mischief Manse. I don't know. But it has a lot of things in it. Just about everything I could think of to cram into a 7x7 footprint that is 8 blocks tall. You have your lights, which outside, if you look above, are to help prevent mob spawns on top of your house. You also have these arrow slits on the sides, as well as the front. Miniature zombies will not be able to get into you, and they will not attack you. They will also not break down your door, and you should be able to attack out without any problem. Therefore making this a very defensible structure, but it's still prone to, damage from creepers, though you can defend against that. I will show that at the end of this. But other things you have, of course, you've got your crafting table, you've got your cauldron, you've, of course, got your brewing stand here, as well as space for an ender chest. You also have your bed, which is unobstructed. Flick this lever and it turns into an instant ability to enchant things. So if I put my iron sword in here, you can see it's level 30 already. Not a problem. No problems at all. You've got your anvil. You also have 3 different furnaces that you can access down here. If I come down inside, you'll see that there's a third one actually behind there. It's a little bit difficult to access up here, but if you go downstairs while the floor is up, you can then access the third one. And then you've got, of course, your little area. Now, normally I would have this walled in around the perimeter here, but I'm showing you so you can see kind of like a bird's eye view what it is that I've got going on here. Of course, I've got different crop areas. You can always change those out for things that you want, but if you want to keep things protected and all in a small compact area, this is the option that I have gone with. Of course, you also have infinite water source block down here. There's 3 of them, so you have access to that. And yeah, it's pretty good. Now that self-defense mechanism, of course, real quick, there's also space for plenty of pictures and things on the walls. And of course, I made space for your own, like you see I'm not wearing any armor. Just pull the lever a few times and you get yourself, your, whoops, I probably shouldn't have put that in at the same time, but you get yourself equipped with all the different pieces of armor. I should have put in some leggings. There we go, put that in there, just pull the lever and I get myself the leggings equipped. Good to go. So that's the idea here. There are some of those, as well as an armor stand that you can always display these things on if you so desire. As such, and there we go. Nothing really fancy, just so that you guys know that that's what I put that there for. Of course, you have a dispenser over here that you can dispense things with. I've got a map here. This is a void world I'm showing you this on, so it's very gray instead of being lush and green. But the self-defenses. So let's say that there are mobs outside of your base preventing you from being able to sleep. Well, you just push this button, which of course has a dispenser with a water bucket in it. And let me back outside so you can see what happens. Dispenses the water, which then goes outside and pushes all mobs away. Now you can actually tier this even further if you want, so that it'll push mobs completely away from your base so that you can sleep. Then just press the button again and the water goes away. Or you can just have it go out to a certain radius so that you can then snipe all the mobs that you want from inside. For example, from in here, all the mobs would be pushed out to a certain radius. I have tested this. There isn't much problem with it. It'll also get rid of Endermen because, of course, well, they don't like water. Now, for those that are interested in actually seeing how this little manse is made, I've got a little bit of a step-by-step here. To start off, we're going to go with Stage 1. Stage 1 consists of just a single level, really, with a bunch of plants on it. So I've got this block of 6 dirt. Then I've got another block of 4 dirt with a few of course, the soul sand, just for growing some of the nether wart. Of course, I also have a single water block here, 3 water blocks here, which are going to be your infinite water source, so you can always bucket from this one spot. But this one is going to allow you to grow sugarcane as well as this one. They're both going to allow the sugarcane to be grown underneath, so you can always have yourself a little bit of paper. Now the thing is, with the limited height ceiling, you're only going to be able to grow it about this tall. This is why I specifically had 3 of these in the basement, because you need to have 3 in order to craft your classic paper recipe. Of course, I've got some other vegetables, like your beets and your carrots and potatoes, your pumpkin, your watermelon, etc. Whatever. As you want to grow things, you can underneath. I have over here, let me just actually fly over, a jack-o'-lantern, which make excellent ways of generating light early game and easy. I just put both of these down. Remember, you cannot place them on top of clear blocks like glass, or you cannot place them on the side of blocks, but you can place them on top of things. So just make sure you place that down. And I just put this glass here to keep the water from running out. Basically, it's a 7x7 footprint. This is just your first layer. I've got some redstone spread around, which is going to activate the pistons that will make your library actually usable. Now, if we go over here to stage 2, we now have the option of putting down some sticky pistons. They have to be sticky in my opinion, just because it makes it safe. But you also have, of course, your redstone repeaters that you just attach up to them. And I realize that there's one missing, but that's all right, because that's the opening that you're going to be having to go up and down a level. Now, on top of that, we're going to be adding a little bit more, but that was just the basics. We're just filling in the gaps. I mean, we had some redstone over there, and now we're currently doing this. Let me actually give you a bird's eye view, just so you can have a moment to check that out. Now on to stage 3. Stage 3 is where it gets a little bit more interesting. If you look here, I have added a crafting table. Of course, I've added a whole bunch of other stuff too. Let me actually flick this lever here, and you can see a little bit better. So what I started out with doing is I just put on top of the pistons, I put 4 pieces of oak. And I chose oak because that is the same texture as the top and bottom of your typical bookcases or libraries, whatever you want to call them, so that you can match those up with the floor and they look somewhat seamless. Of course, you can always change that up if you desire. But then I put a stove or a furnace in here, another furnace, and then I just up one block over, I put another furnace. On the face of the front furnace, I put a step ladder here so I can get up and down regardless. And then, of course, I have the cauldron so that I can, wash off whatever I need to wash off or use the water, however, have an easier way to access things from the basement if I so desire. But I could always, with lily pads on this place here, which I have in the final build that I don't have here, you can put some lily pads down, keep yourself from falling into the water all the time. But then I also placed a stair block on this back wall with a lever on it. And as you notice, that is going to activate everything dropping inside of that library, making it actually work. Now, in order to do that, you're going to want to put a piston and a redstone block underneath that. Easiest way to do that is going to be if you build this shape first with the furnaces, and then you just, on top of that, just kind of stack the stairs, go down here next to it, build up the piston, and then on top of that you put your redstone block, which is going to hover above this. Now when I do this, it then makes a connection with the rest of the redstone, which then activates all these pistons, and there's one down the middle, of course, which is activating the one on the end, raising the entire platform up. Now let's go over to stage 4. Stage 4 is where everything really starts coming together. This one here, if you see, is actually not that much different. It just has the outer ring of books added in, which is easier if you have everything pushed up, and therefore you can do that. Now I'm going to grab a bed. I'm going to break this one. I'm also going to grab these items here so you can see what it is that I'm about to do. Now if I drop this down, after I've put all the bookshelves around the outer edge, you notice that there's a break here. That is kind of required. You have to have 15 bookcases in order for it to work. And if you have things in the way, it will break the continuity of it. But luckily, you can make do. So what I recommend is that you grab yourself some kind of material that you can place a bed on. Put down a couple of them. Put your bed down from where you're standing with the lever. Place it down here. And then you just break those items underneath. Then you place down your enchantment table on top of this furnace by pressing shift and placing. Then you place down on top of this one an anvil. And there you go. You now have access to those items very easily. Press your button and you shoot yourself back up to the top. And you've got this kind of little platform up above. Now all this is being sunken into the ground. For instance, this is the ground, and you can see everything being built under here. So this is ground level where the books are. Total, you're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and I am including the dirt blocks that everything is currently growing on in order for you to have underground. So this is actually ground level right here. And now we're on to stage 5, which is pretty much the complete project, but it might be a bit daunting. So I'm actually going to break down some of these walls and such that I have built so that you can better understand what's going on. So at the corners, I just have some mossy cobblestone wall. You can choose whatever cobblestone or structure pieces you want. I chose just some regular stone brick stairs, stone brick slabs, stone bricks, and of course the mossy cobblestone wall just for a little bit of contrast. You can always choose any other kind of material that has stairs, that has walls, has solid bricks and slabs. Those are the materials that you're going to need to build this outside structure. I found that like nether brick works really nicely, as well as quartz. Those are really nice, especially they kind of offset each other. But if you have everything all the same material, like if this was just regular cobblestone, it'd be a little bit different. But I just did this for decoration. You don't even have to have these in place, you know, so you can actually slim it down even more, but I just wanted something a little bit different in there. Now, the basic idea here is we've got 4 stairs. If you look, it is basically a stair, and then I aim over here, a stair, then I need to build on top of that, place a block underneath, and then I need to do the same thing, place a block underneath, and we create ourselves kind of this little window frame. Now, I tested this, and baby zombies don't come through. Skeletons don't come through. They may see you, they may try and shoot you. It's possible, but then you just don't stand in front of the windows, and you can then, you know, snipe at them, etc. The other thing that I should mention is that you do have one actual oak wood plank over here on top of everything. And the reason I broke that is because I also have an oak door. Now, if I put this down, you'll see the oak door is there. That's great. The zombies are going to want to break that, so you're going to want to actually change this. If you go off to the side and place this and then do this, it will then act like an actually open door, and zombies won't try and break it. So that's kind of key, just by going off to the side, clicking down, and then you now have like an unbreaking zombie keeper outer. In other words, a door. So that's what I did for these 2 side sections here and here around the door. Now up above, it's very simple actually. I just did this and this. Oops, a little bit too far away. There we go, this and this, and then I just kind of connected them together. Made kind of like this couch effect. So that's all that happened for this strip across there. Now for the side walls. This wall and the other wall are identical. If you notice here, we have that same exact couch pattern at the top. Then we've got up here an upside down stair, which is going to be a little bit easier when you've got these cobblestone, or when you've got walls in the corners, so you can just press these up against it. Then I've got another one of those couches. So if you look, I've got like a stone couch at the top, stone couch at the bottom, upside down stair, and then just a bunch of slabs are along here. So it's pretty darn cool. And if you want to extend this entire structure out a little bit further, you can, you know, to make it more spider resistant, but I really wouldn't bother, because that's going to mess up your home defense system. The water will pour over top of them and not push away all the enemies. Now, on the back side, it's a little bit more like the front, where you see I've got that ring of stairs. I'm not going to repeat those again, but instead of having them on the ground, they're 1 block up. And on the ground, actually, I kind of messed these up down here. Let me redo this here. There we go. I've got another one of those stone couches. And it's just for decoration, really, to give it a little bit of depth so it isn't just this solid thing. You can see I made a few small little glitches here and there, but basically a couple of those couches here. Then I've got an upside down block slabs. Here I've got one of those couches along the bottom, a ring of stairs, and then behind these actual ladders is going to just be some solid, the only 2 solid blocks that I have are behind here. They're not like stairs or slabs or anything like that. It's just regular stone bricks. And then this is just so that you can get yourself up on top of the structure if you need to. You don't have to. You can skip these if you want. It'll actually make things a little bit more symmetrical for your home defense system. Now, if I float above this, you'll notice that this does look somewhat diamond-like, but off on the corner here, right where I'm circling now, right there. And over here, there's a little bit of a change. Reason is when the water comes out, it actually catches on these ladders and will kind of pour out a little bit more. So that's just what those do. It's nothing that you really need to worry about. But if you're curious, I try to leave all this as empty space so that stuff can get pushed away. And as I said at the beginning, you can always kind of stair step this down further so that the water will constantly be pushed down, or the mobs will constantly be pushed down further, or even build this on an island in the sky if you want. And then, you know, all your mob worries are really going to be over and you don't need to worry about them getting close to you anymore. You just wash them away. But I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, there is a lot of variables that you can do with this. It's made for functionality in the vanilla setting, but this, I don't see why it couldn't work in any kind of modded environment as well. I mean, I've got my ender chest here. I've got all the different chests that you could possibly want in here, all sorts of junk. I mean, there's like a good list of a bunch of stuff that I used to build this with. You got your dispensers for dispensing armor. You don't even need those. I was just kind of putting them for effect. And I was thinking I could put some other things around the sides in here, but I really just wanted to have visibility outside, but yet I still have the protection. I mean, I've got those openings in the back so I can still snipe out the back if I want to. I've got these side arrow slits so I can get through. I might even be able to swipe with a sword if I so desire at anybody that might be outside. But they're not going to be trying to get in because this door is going to be a real solid door. Make sure that it's on the outside as well. You don't want zombies coming up into this door area. You turn on your water defense system and the zombie is just kind of stuck there at your front door. You want them to be washed away. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit by bit on vanilla Minecraft, how to make your own little 7x7 mini mansion by the Mischief. If you did enjoy this, be sure to give a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, spread the Mischief to others. I think they'll enjoy this content too. Until next time, folks, I'll see ya.